This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. The Ramsey Show, we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. We're glad you're here. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of the Fine Print podcast on the Ramsey Networks, is my co-host today. The phone number here is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Tom is going to start us off from Cleveland, Ohio this hour. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good. How about you guys?
Better than we deserve, brother. What's up?
I'm looking into becoming a real estate agent, but first, I did. If you're wondering where the Southern accent comes from, it's because I moved here from North Carolina.
Okay.
And in the process of doing that, I was fortunate enough to have the services of a local ELP here, and I paid cash for my place here.
Good.
So from that, there that I'm a baby step 7 guy. That has motivated me to become a real estate agent. And in talking with these ladies, it is being suggested that I start out by doing some investing in rental properties without becoming an agent. I know I don't need to be an agent to be a landlord, but my purpose in doing that is to, as you like to say, get the boat close to the dock before jumping ship on a full-time job. Part of my motivation for becoming a real estate agent is I'm visually impaired, and I want to bring a relatable experience to those others who are visually impaired. So today, my question is, how do I even get started in real estate investing? I hear you use words like cash on cash, and I'm not entirely sure what we mean by that.
Okay. Answer that one first. Cash on cash rate of return is how much cash you put in versus how much cash you get out. So if the rental property makes you $10,000 net profit after all expenses in a year, and you paid $100,000 for it, your cash on cash is a 10% rate of return.
Okay, now that makes perfect sense.
Okay, if it's a $200,000 cash investment into the property, and you pull out $10,000, then you have a 5% cash on cash rate of return. If you only pay cash for properties, cash on cash is the only rate of return that there is. Well, actually, there's an internal rate of return too, but there's if you're leveraging, meaning borrowing money into real estate, then you would use some other measures as well. But I don't. I look at I put in some cash. How much cash am I getting back as a result of that? What's my return on investment? Same thing with a mutual fund. You put, $100,000 in, and they send you $12,000, then you made 12% on your money. Right? Same thing.
Okay.
That's a cash-on-cash rate of return is what that means. Now, I do not agree that this is the best method for you to become a real estate agent.
Really?
Really. I have never, almost never known someone. I knew some real estate investors who later decided to become agents, but I can't think of, in 30 years of doing real estate, that I've run into someone who said, "Oh, I'm going to be a real estate investor so that I can be an agent." I just wouldn't do it. I think that's a long play.
What are you doing now for work, Tom?
So I'm working at I was just going to tell you, I'm working at an Amazon facility where we load boxes and all that good stuff.
What do you make?
And we're $15.50 an hour, so
that's what you live on. Are you married?
Negative.
Okay.
Miss Wright and I haven't met each other yet.
Okay, so where did you get all the money to be a baby step 7 guy making $15 working boxes at Amazon?
Oh, well, I didn't. I inherited some, and I started off in 1998 with a little place that I paid like $75,000 for, and I paid that off with.
So you made money on your houses, and that led you into yet another house that's now paid for. You've just been very careful.
Correct.
And then you make enough at your profession to eat.
Correct.
Okay, cool. All right. So what do you make a year? What do you make a year doing boxes at Amazon?
I'm right at 30.
Okay. So the bad news is you only make
credit card companies hate my guts.
Yeah, the bad news is but the bad news is you only make 30. The good news is it doesn't take a lot to replace that. So why don't you go get a real estate license and start selling houses on the side while you're doing boxes?
Can you do that?
Sure.
I mean,
sure you can do that.
I don't know how all this works.
Yeah, what's the extent of your visual impairment? How blind are you?
I can see well enough to get around, and that's pretty much it. You wouldn't want me behind the wheel.
Okay, so you don't drive.
Correct.
But you could walk through a house with someone, and it wouldn't be a major problem. You can, I assume you've got some technology where you can access the internet and utilize that, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, I think you can be a real estate agent. And by the way, I think it's wonderful that you can help people that have similar impairments to what you've got. I think that's a great mission. It's too small a market to make a living in. So I'd like for you to do that, and I'd like you to sell everybody houses, and some of them be sight impaired, and you've got a special you're going to be a special help to them, to the sight impaired folks. But that's not a big enough market for you to make a living in.
I understand, and that's a consideration of mine.
Yeah, Tom, my dad did this later in life. He's a full-time civil engineer, and he got his real estate license on the side. Much like you, he wanted to help people in our local church that were immigrating here find homes. And so to this day, he still does that on the side for fun. But it's a hobby for him. It's not how he puts food on the table.
Yeah, but dude, if you sell 3 or 4 houses a year, you'll make more than 30.
It won't take long.
Yeah, so go get your license, and then once you get a little bit of income coming in from the real estate, you can drop the Amazon gig and be like a real estate guy, and then save up some money. And if you want to be a real estate investor later with some cash, meaning you pay cash for your rental properties, then fine. But the idea that you have to go buy 3 rental properties so that you're a landlord so that you can relate to a buyer is absolutely no, it's just not true. It's not a path that is normally used, and it'd be hard-pressed to find somebody that did it actually that way.
Yeah.
I just hadn't run into them. I mean, know a lot of real estate investors that, do a few deals with their license here or there. And I know a lot of real estate agents who have never owned a single piece of property except the one they live in.
That's okay, too.
And that's actually very normative. Yeah, most real estate agents don't have a real estate portfolio. So most of them don't. They just don't. Hope that helps, man. Thanks for the call. George Camel with me this hour. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Imagine the energy of a jam-packed arena filled with people ready to experience what it means to live life to the fullest. Picture all your favorite speakers together on one stage, empowering you with the tools, the principles that'll create unstoppable momentum. That is Smart Conference. It's not just another pep talk. We're going to talk to you about your relationships, your mental wellness, your leadership, your money. Yeah, we're going to talk to you about your marriage. We're going to talk to you about your career. Yeah, and when you leave after being with us all day on Saturday the 22nd in Dallas, 22nd of October in Dallas, you will be smarter. All the Ramsey personalities will be speaking, along with Craig and Amy Groeschel from Life Church doing a talk on money. Event passes start at only $39. That is a great price for a full-day event like this. Get your passes now before they sell out. Get to RamseySolutions.com/events. You can learn even more. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Sherry is in Peoria, Illinois. Hi, Sherry. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Hi, Dave. Hi, George.
Hey.
What's up?
Nice to talk to you again. I met you at your Smart Conference in 2019. My husband and I went to. So
cool.
Very, very exciting day. So, yes. My question is I'm 49. My husband is 60. We're in the process of selling our rentals right now because we did do it backwards before we came into the plan. So we do have our house paid off, our personal residence. And then I said we're selling our rentals. We also just bought his dad's farm and moving to that. So when our house sells and all the rentals sell, we have two more. We're going to be real estate heavy as opposed to then our retirement accounts. So I have $112,000 in mine, and my husband only has $33,000. So my question is, how do we? I want to concentrate on his because he's going to be 62 here soon. We will be taking his Social Security at 62, and we plan on investing that. We are self-employed. I do work outside the home, but he's self-employed contractor. We're planning on putting the business in my name so he can continue after age 62 to continue working. Because I think you're capped out at a certain amount when you start taking your Social Security. So we're just looking for some investment for retirement advice. Should we put into Roth? I haven't put any money into mine since we've been together. We've been married for 14 years. So we're just looking for some guidance.
All right, so how much cash are you going to have? The farm will be paid for.
Farm will be paid for. It'll be worth probably about $650.
Okay, and you're going to have a pile of cash from the sale of everything else. How big?
Well, that's like our house right now is on the market for $270, and then we have two rentals that we still have mortgages on. We are looking to make $57,000 on one, approximately $47,000 on another, and we're hoping to get about $250 on ours. So we may still have like a small mortgage of about $25,000 to finish paying off when we get done, because we're going to put everything to the mortgage on the farm.
Oh, so the farm has a mortgage?
The farm, yeah, we did take a mortgage out of that because we have our personal.
So what do you owe on the mortgage?
Yeah.
What do you owe on the farm? Like $350?
$397.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're not going to have any money. Okay.
Well, we have our emergency fund.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to use all of this to try to clear that mortgage as soon as possible.
Correct.
Yeah, and then you're at baby step 4 is what it amounts to. You're putting 15% of your income aside until you get that mortgage paid off, and then you're going to load up everything. And yeah, I'm with you. I'd load everything you can. What?
Into his account, because
doesn't matter. I mean, you can put it into his, but I just load everything into Roths, and as much as you can, you're going to want to load up everything.
Okay, so that's my question too. Like, do we do Roths first,
yes,
or do we do his SEP?
Well, either one's fine. I mean, you can do a SEP Roth.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to make him. I don't think you need. I'm not sure we're going to take his Social Security. I think you can leave it sit there for a little bit if you're worried about that. I think he needs to just keep running that business and make a big pile of money over the next 10 years.
Okay.
And let's just load the SEP, load the SEP and SEP Roths, load the Roths. Do you have anything available at your work?
I will be finding that out because this is my third year working there, so now I'm eligible. I will be getting a SEP check from them, so whatever they put into theirs, like last year they put 25% into the employees' SEP.
But they don't have anything other than SEP.
No.
Okay. Mm-mm. All right. Yeah. Load him up a SEP. Load you up a couple of Roth. Each of you have a Roth, and then load yours that way. You don't have any choice. They're going to put what they're going to put in your SEP. So, yeah, just max all that out, and let's get the farm paid off. And so, with a paid off farm, how big a pile of money can we build outside of that in retirement? And sit down with your Smart Investor Pro, and you can even do some more there once the farm's paid off. Doesn't have to be all inside of retirement, but I would load up these retirement accounts for sure.
And she's about to be 50, so there should be some catch-up contributions depending on the types of accounts she can put into there.
They've just got they can do a little larger Roth is all it amounts to.
Yeah.
There's not a catch-up on a SEP. And both the others are SEP. That's all they've got available.
Now, could the farm become income-producing at some level, depending on what they do with it?
Yeah, I guess you farm it. I mean, if you put something on there, that might create some income. That'd be nice to add to the equation here. But let's get his business going, and then let's just load up the retirement you can once the farm's paid off, and then let's pay off. Then let's see how big a pile of just regular investments in mutual funds we can have.
And when you got no payments, you don't need as much in retirement, which is nice.
And you can build a lot.
Yeah.
So go ahead and let's try to get $500,000, $1 million in there before we slow down too much. Because we're talking, she's got 2 decades, he's got a decade at least, minimum of work time available. So let's go
bust it.
Let's go get some money. I mean, that's what it amounts to. Philip is in New York City. Hi, Philip. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's great to talk to you guys.
Sure. What's up?
So my wife and I are in baby step 2. We've been there for about 2 years now, and probably have about 2 years left realistically. And I know you recommend trying to do it in 3, and we're doing our best, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. But we have a 3rd kid on the way. We're both working, and coordinating childcare has gotten to be crazy with 2, and 3 sounds even more crazy. I've always wanted to have her be at home, and she wants that also. But we're just concerned about, getting through baby step 2 and losing her income. And so we'd really like your thoughts on how to go about doing this and whether or not that's a really prudent idea.
What do you make?
When we first started.
No, what do you make now?
I take home $14,000 a month.
You do?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a psychologist.
Okay. And what does she make?
She takes home $50,000 a year, so $5,000 a month for 10 months. She doesn't get paid in the summer. She's a reading specialist.
Great.
Yep.
Because a reading specialist can do tutoring from home with her kids, and she could probably make $50 doing that.
Yeah, we actually had considered that, but with the baby at home, I guess I'm not sure how she would actually do the tutoring from home.
Well, during nap time. We just kept our 1-year-old and, our son's 1-year-old for the weekend, and we got the benefit of enjoying nap time.
Yeah,
so,
I guess it feels like a huge risk to do that. And, I trusted myself to build the business that I did when I left a more stable job and went into private practice. And I guess it's making the same kind of leap. But I was doing it part-time before moving full-time.
How much debt do you have left?
$198,000. We started at $350,000.
What? Student loans?
Student loans, sir. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm fine with her coming home. Y'all just got to work your budget out on $14K, but it's pretty easy for her early in this process. Maybe not the first 3 months or whatever, but early in the process to start doing some tutors. And reading specialist tutors are making $50 an hour right now. And so reading specialists are in high demand. And so there's no reason at all you can't get a lot of private tutors set up to the extent that she can do that. I don't think you have to count on it. It's not high risk, but yeah, you can do that. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. Ramsey Personality is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Austin and Browen are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Doing
Good.
great.
How are you?
Good to have you guys. Where do y'all live?
San Antonio, Texas.
All right, good. Good to have you. How much debt have you paid off?
$271,018.98.
Love it. How long did this take?
7 years.
All right. And your range of income during that time?
Anywhere from 132 to 160.
Mm-hmm.
We dipped and did all sorts of stuff during that
All
time.
kinds of gyrations. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm an in-house counsel for a specialty insurance company group.
Okay.
And I am a nurse, and then I have a small Etsy shop too.
Oh, good. Good for you guys. All right. So 7 years, $271,000. That's your mortgage?
I wish.
Oh, no.
No, student loans and kitchen appliances that we have since had to replace. Washer and dryer, cars, medical bills, credit cards, you name it, we got it.
You were kind of normal.
Yes.
And it was a mess.
Yes. Yes.
But we got a lawyer and you said a nurse, right?
Yes.
Big student loans.
Big student loans. Stupid student
How
loans.
much of the 271 was student loans?
Oh, I think
160.
that's
okay.
what it was when we started.
Yeah.
After interest, I'm not sure how much it was.
Bright side of COVID. No interest.
Wow. So what happened 7 years ago that put you guys on this journey?
I think it actually happened about 8 years ago. Our marriage went through a really rough time. And lots of different aspects. But when we decided we needed to reconcile completely and redo everything we were doing with our marriage. And that included
Money.
Yes, absolutely. So we started looking into your plan, and I kind of started doing it just with my credit card to see how it would work, and it worked fabulously. So then we brought it, when we put our income back together after that separation, we just went for it.
Wow. Good, good, cool. So did you go through Financial Peace University at that point, or you just read the book, or what?
We read the book and we listened to a lot of your show. Whenever we passed the BMW car slot, my son, who was just 5 years old, he thought that was your office. He'd be like, look, there's BMW.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Where the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW.
BMW, that's
so
Dave.
Dave's over at the BMW
He
lot.
owns the
I like
BMW
it.
dealership.
That's good. That's fun. Very cool. Wow. That's a long track, y'all.
It is.
Was it worth it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
What was it like paying off appliances you didn't even own anymore? Was that frustrating?
It absolutely was. And you know, when you're paying them with a credit card, you don't really look into everything. You just, I can afford this, and you just hand over your credit card. But then when we had to replace all those appliances, we really looked into reviews and how much things cost. It changes the way your mind works so that
You pay attention when it's your own money.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
When it's real money.
Yes.
Instead of fake money, borrowed money. Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. Cool.
And during that time, we were able to cash flow pretty much everything we did. We had a whole nother human during that. And then those new appliances, and we went on some small vacations during that time since it was such a long time, yes, and some emergency trips, but we made it.
Wow, very cool. So was anybody from the outside your family cheering you on? Saying, did you have any cheerleaders outside your family?
Oh, for sure. Her parents were very strong role models for us,
Yes.
both spiritually and in that financial leadership type role.
Yeah.
Yes, and they're the ones that insisted we come here today.
Oh, wow.
Instead of just calling, so they helped us get here today too.
Oh, wow. That's
awesome.
Even with that, so
Well, that's fun. Yeah, well, it's good to celebrate a milestone this big, that's taken this long to get to.
yes, absolutely.
They're right. This is very important. Very good.
Wow.
Proud of you.
So what
Very good.
was the biggest sacrifice you guys had to make along the way that really was hurt?
Probably golf for him.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Not that I'm good, but I like spending money on the course.
So that was out of the picture for a while there.
Correct.
Are you back at it now?
A little bit.
Still
Maybe
just
once
as
a
bad
month.
as you were?
Yes.
Okay, good. Nothing's changed. Wow, that's awesome.
Wow. Well, good for you guys. Well done. Very proud of you. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Just keep trekking along, I think, and the budget too is huge for us. For me anyway, once we put the budget together, it kind of felt like we were getting that raise to where, okay, we have this much little spending we have every month, and before it was like we've had none. So just doing that budget and actually sticking to it.
Very cool. Good job, you guys. Good job.
Thank
Hey,
you.
we got a copy of the latest #1 bestseller that we've done, Baby Steps Millionaires, How Ordinary People Built Extraordinary Wealth, How You Can Too. That's the next chapter for you.
Yes.
You're going to be Baby Steps Millionaires next. You
We
ready?
hope so.
Yep.
Yes,
You are.
we're
You are.
ready.
You're on your way. The people in this book did just exactly what you're doing, so I'm proud of you. Very well done. And also a copy of Total Money Makeover, which was your guide on this process. You can hand that off to somebody and get them going. And a 1-year subscription to Financial Peace University.
Awesome.
So we'll get you guys signed up for that and for the every dollar, the upgrade on every dollar. So you got the best budgeting app going. You got the whole package here going. So we'll make sure you guys get into that next gear now and move on. Now that you've come through really the hardest part, and now you're in the position to build wealth. So very well done.
Thank you.
Great job. You bring the kids with you. Bring them up. Let's get their names and ages.
So we've got Brady, and he is 12, and Lola is 10, and then Cecilia is 4.
All right. Very well done. Good job, you guys. Well, we're honored to have you. We're proud of you, heroes. Well done. You took control of your life
Yes,
in a
thank
whole
you.
bunch of different areas.
Yes, yes.
Very, very important. Good stuff. Austin and Brown, Brady, Lola, and Cece from San Antonio, Texas. $271,000 paid off in 7 years. $132,000 to $160,000 income. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Yeah! That's how it's done.
Cece just left the stage. She couldn't handle it. It was too much for her. She's bouncing all over the walls.
Exited stage left. That's fun stuff.
That's awesome. A marriage restored, a family tree changed. That's why we do this.
That's good.
Never gets old.
That's good. That's the thing. And here's the thing, folks. What they recognized 7 years ago in that process is something that a bunch of you need to recognize because it's the best route for you. It's the most effective route for you, is that these things in our life, our marriage, our kids, our finances, our health, are not standalone subjects. They're interwoven with each other. Your mental wellness, your career, these things all affect each other. And so when you start working on the whole package, and a part of that is we lead you to financial peace. You go to Financial Peace University. Part of that is, you're plugging in with Dr. John Deloney and you're learning some boundaries with your family and you're learning that you're worth being loved and, good wellness issues, mental wellness issues. You walk around this building and you start plugging these things in your life starts to round out, and every one of these subjects gets better simultaneously. Your marriage, your parenting has changed. Because financial stress, when you take that off the table, a whole bunch of stuff is affected positively.
Yeah, well, it's taking up brain space. You're burning a lot of brain calories when you're stressed about money, and it's going to be hard to have a great marriage. And if your career sucks, it's hard to come home and have a great life when you get home, when you're carrying that around. And so we want you to get better in all of these areas, and that's part of why we've expanded this thing. Ken Coleman helping people find that career path, John Deloney helping people get well, and it all matters. It's all interconnected.
Absolutely. George Camel, Ramsey personality, my co-host today. This is The Ramsey Show. Ramsey personalities, my co-host today. Megan is in Phoenix. Hi, Megan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. I am so happy to talk to you. I've been dying to talk to you forever.
Well, we're
I've been
honored.
Following you for 5 to 6 years so far.
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks. How can we help today?
Hi. Okay. So my main question is this, and then you can ask me whatever. Okay, so I have a 401k from my previous employer that I no longer work for, and there's about $6K in there. And I was wondering if I can pull it out and use for a down payment on a house. I would be a first-time home buyer, and I'm not paying any rent right now, which is good at the same time, I guess.
How old are you?
I kind of want to get a house. I'm 32.
Okay.
I'm about to be 32.
Well, the short answer and the long answer is no. Don't do that. Because the penalties you're going to pay on the money you take out is going to crush it. And it's only $6,000. How quickly could you save up $6,000?
I want to say in 6 months.
Okay.
And we're just trying to get before the housing market just gets crazy.
Yeah.
Too late. It's already crazy.
I
It'd be
know.
crazy. Well, here's the
already
thing.
crazy.
If I'm you, I'm rolling it over to an IRA, direct rollover to an IRA so that you have control of it and let that money grow for you over the next 30 years of your career.
Here's the problem, Megan. If you take it out, you're going to get hit with a 10% penalty plus your tax rate. So it's going to be like borrowing money at 30% interest for a down payment. You would never do that.
Okay.
So don't do it. George is right. Sam is in Toronto. Hey, Sam. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Hi. I've got a bit of a family question. My parents grew up, and they were very, very frugal, and I found out a while ago that they were pretty well off because they were so frugal. And I've been involved in just helping my parents make some decisions and do some things going forward because I've got an interest in it, and I'm pretty frugal and good with money myself. But now I've got 2 siblings, and they don't have, I would say, as good a relationship with money. And my parents, I think, are kind of struggling. I don't think my siblings really understand that my parents have some money, and my parents want to be able to give them some money in a way that's not destructive to them. And they were considering, some pretty substantial gifts to maybe help them with buying houses and that sort of thing. And they asked me what I think about it, and I'm just a little nervous about giving people who don't have a great relationship with money too much money at once, or helping them out too much where, they might not strive for as much if they get too much help with their life.
Well, your parents are making you the middleman here to decide?
Well, not really making me the middleman. They were asking what I think.
They trust your opinion because you've managed money well, and so they don't want to ruin these kids' lives.
I really at a young age really liked learning about investments and money and that sort of thing. And at one point, my dad said, "Well, why don't you take a look at my stuff?" And I was really surprised, and I found out that he had quite a bit of money. And I actually worked
how
with
old
him
are your siblings, Sam?
Late 20s and early 30s.
Okay. I think your dad and mom just need to sit down with them individually and say, guys, we've done pretty well, and we've done pretty well with money because we've handled it well, and we're not going to be able to give it to people who don't handle it well. And so we want to help you guys get better at handling money. And we want you to go through a class called Financial Peace University, or we want you to do this, or read this book, or do whatever. Or you have to watch 5,000 debt-free screams. I don't know, whatever it is, right? But somehow they need to communicate this to them, and it's not your place to do that. It's their place to do that. So, if it was my kid, I would sit down and go, look, I manage money for God, and it's my job to pass it on to people who can manage it well, and I can't pass it to you because you're not managing it well. And I'm not going to finance your misbehavior, your immaturity, your impulsiveness, your whatever it is. And so, I'd really be honored to come alongside you, coach you, help you, learn to do some of these things. And then we would be able to really reach over and do some substantial things to help you guys in your lives. But we really can't do that right now because we're not comfortable doing that. And if you want to just keep living like you're living, then we can't, we're prohibited. We'll be really sad that you chose to not receive these gifts, these financial gifts that we have prepared for you.
Okay.
And I think, I think you just got to call them out and go, guys, and it's not controlling. It's just, look, if you want to do this, this is the path. I mean, and, have some suggestions of the class you want them to take, the books you want to read, whatever it is, and then you want to observe that they are now being mature, responsible adults with money.
So we can put some stipulations on this gift because it's our money and we can do what we want with it.
Yeah, and and it's okay if you don't want to do it. I'm not trying to control your life. I'm just controlling my life. And so if I'm going to do this, and, we do the same thing. Ramsey Family Foundation does not give money to ministries that are poorly run. That's a bad investment of God's money. And so if you're operationally moronic, I can't put money into that.
Can't subsidize stupidity.
Well, what they do is really sweet. I'm glad it's really sweet, but they're really bad at it. They're bad at being sweet. And so, it's the same thing. And you've got to it's not being cold, it's not being mean or sarcastic or smart aleck. It's quite the opposite of all of that. It's an act of love.
Well, you don't want to be an enabler either.
It's exactly it. Bethany's in New York City. Hi, Bethany. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So I'm in the process of purchasing a house, and right now I have enough saved to cover both the house and the closing costs, the down payment and closing costs. And I've been listening to you for a week, and so now I paid off my student loan yesterday, $10K, and now I'm supercharged, and I want to wipe out my auto loan as well with the house. So if I do both of that, I'm only left with about $3,000. So my question for you is if I should go all in or if I should just wait for the house to close, let it settle, and then see what happens first before moving towards the auto loan.
You need to get in the house and get settled before you pay off the car. Because I don't want something unexpected to come up that's $4,000 in this process and you only have $3,000. You're down too tight in the middle of buying a house. Of course, we would have recommended you wait until you were debt free, but you already had all this in process before you found us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
what's left on the car?
It's $23,000.
Yeah. So yeah, you have $26,000 in the bank if everything goes as planned, plus your emergency fund when you move into the house. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you'll write a check and pay off the car. Get in the house, get settled, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the house, and make sure all your bills are paid, all your stuff's set up, everything's moved around, and then write a check. When are you closing on the house?
Well, it's supposed to go June 30th, but it became a short sale. So now we just don't know, but they have until June 30th or I can back out of the deal.
Okay. All right. So you'll be done in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that big a deal. Yeah. Let's get settled into that house.
Yeah.
And then you'll know what you're dealing with, and then get the car paid off as soon as possible after that. But so hey,
it's good that you're excited about becoming debt free.
Yeah,
I like that part.
Yeah. Just to recap, for those of you listening, we would tell you to be 100% debt free, have your emergency fund in place before you contract for a house, and so that get these things in the right order, because it's going to give you a lot less risk. But she found us after she had already had the house under contract, and so you're obviously not going to tell her to break her word on that. So. Good stuff. Good question. Thank you for joining us. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Our thanks to Austin, Ben, Zach, Andrew, and James in the booth. I am Dave Ramsey, your host, and we'll be back.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of the Fine Print on Ramsey Networks, is my co-host today as we take your questions about life and money. Again, 888-825-5225. Brian in Columbia, South Carolina, starting off this hour. Hey, Brian, what's up?
Hey, Dave, how are you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
So recently I have taken over the affairs of a senior citizen at our church who we affectionately call Grandpa. And in looking over his finances, I've seen that he's been signed up for sometime in the past 2 whole life policies. So I know that you're against whole life. And we were just talking about our options on what to do with it. And so if we cash out the whole life to get rid of it, between the 2 policies that he signed up for, he would get a return of $2,900, which is pennies on the dollars from what he's paid. My question is, they also offered us an option of him freezing the policy so he pays no more in it, and he gets $2,200 upon his death if we choose to do that. Now, at first I just thought to cash it out. And if we do cash it out, because he's got a pending Medicaid application, which tends to take over their finances to help provide that long-term care, how do we secure this money in order to make sure that his final stages, just so it goes towards his final stages when he does pass?
Medicaid won't take $2,900. If it was $290,000, they would get into it, but they're not going to fool with $2,900. That's not going to mess him up on that. Yeah, I'd just get out of the whole life business, and I'd rather him have $2,900 in the bank than $2,200 when he dies.
Right.
Because he's got $2,900 when he dies.
Right.
Does he have any money?
Okay. No, he just is on social, which is the basic $1,200 a month. That's what he has currently.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's some kind of a need he has around there then. Or at least a need for a little bit of an baby emergency fund, which this can supply, right?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
How old is he?
So he's 83.
Okay.
And the face of the policies, if he dies, is $2,200?
Well, the policies are $10,000 each.
Oh, plus
if we do cash out to close it.
No, I thought you said he got $2,200 if he died.
Well, the 2,200 is if we do they call it a reduced freeze. So he doesn't pay anything else at all on the account for the policy, and then upon his death, he gets that 2,200 between those two policies on his death.
In addition to the face value.
No, because if we freeze it out, then he doesn't pay anything else.
So he's paid for a $10,000 policy all these years, and these bozos say, hey, we're going to help you out because you're a good long-term customer. Instead of paying you $10,000 at your death, we're going to pay you $2,200 at your death, but you don't have to pay any more payments. How sweet.
Right.
How sweet. What crooks.
Yes.
As if the other $7,800 on an 83-year-old won't pay the premiums.
Right.
What buttholes?
And he's almost paid that $10,000 over the last 3 or 4 years he's been signed up for.
Doesn't shock me.
Oh, easy. Yeah. Oh, my God.
That's sad.
What a
How is this legal still? This is crazy.
It's just... Yeah. And act like they're doing you a favor.
Well, we'll give you $2,200. Call it good.
You know, watch these guys. When they're kissing you, they pee on your leg. Oh, my God. It's unbelievable. Wow.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's unbelievable. All right. So, yeah, you gotta cash these things in, man. Get away from this company as fast as you can. This is just ridiculous. Oh, jeez.
Sad.
Whole life policies, people. This is the companies that you're dealing with. This guy's paid in these policies. He's paid $15,000 in these policies, and if he'd put that $15,000 during that time in this $10,000 policy that they're offering to help him with at $2,200, he would have $100,000.
He would have been better off with a cookie jar.
If he put that in a mutual fund, he'd have $100,000. Easy. See, they ought to just have their butts kicked. And then walk around acting like Dave
Ramsey doesn't know.
Dave Ramsey doesn't know anything about money. Well, it's because my calculator works. This is a math thing. Jeez, you people.
Fascinating. The biggest fans of Whole Life are the Whole Life salespeople.
They're the only fans.
That's how you know it's a scam.
They're the only fans. Yeah. I can't breathe. All right, I got to move on. Melissa's with us in Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, Melissa, what's up?
Hey, Dave. How are y'all?
Great. How can we help?
So last July, my husband and our family moved for his job, and we bought a home. And then, unfortunately, in September, he lost that job. And so ever since then, he's been trying to find another job. And it seems as though we're going to have to move again. He's got a job offer. It's in Wisconsin this time. So what we're trying to figure out now is whether to sell or rent our home. We're going to get a home provided for us there when we move to Wisconsin. So we're not really sure what to do about our house. So we're a little leery of selling it.
I'm not. Sell it. I'm a little leery of you keeping it.
Oh, it's okay.
You don't need a house in Jacksonville, Florida if you're living in Wisconsin.
Yeah, but it's like home around here. So Wisconsin
It's like home, but it's not home. You're living in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So what kind of work does he do that it took him from September to now to find a job in the hottest job market in the history of mankind?
Well, he works in hotel management, and he has been working jobs, but he's doing a lot of traveling. So right now he's in Dallas. So it's been a lot of him being away from our family. So he's been doing like independent contract jobs.
Yeah, do you guys want to go to Wisconsin?
I want our family to be together again.
Amen.
So,
Amen. Yeah. I'm with you on that. So you're willing to live in Wisconsin to make that happen?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So he's got a job as a big box manager again, or what?
Well, he wants to get away from hotels because it has been really crazy the last couple of years.
Oh, I thought you said retail.
COVID. No, he's been in hotel management. So he's going to try something different. He's going to do campground management now.
Okay. Because that's what got offered to him.
Exactly.
Not because last September he set out to be a campground manager. All right. I'm going to send you a copy of Ken Coleman's book, From Paycheck to Purpose. If you take the job in Wisconsin and you move, sell the house in Jacksonville. But I think he needs to look for a different job. I think he just took something because it was put in front of him and they made him feel good. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Well, George, this series you did is a big hit, and I'm really glad that it is because it's a great job you guys did on this.
Thank you.
If you guys haven't heard, we have a new Confidence in Your Coverage, your free 5-day guide to insurance. It's a series of videos by George Camel helping you understand your insurance so you don't get screwed. And you don't end up buying like whole life or something, right? Oh my gosh. Every day for 5 days, Ramsey personality George Camel will walk you through a new insurance topic, unpacking everything you need to know to get the right coverage. It's completely free to go through. And I'm really glad you guys are watching this out there. Number one, George did a great job with it. And it's always fun and funny if it's George because he's like the nice one around here and that kind of stuff.
It's a good personal brand to have.
It's a good brand. You're the happy version of us, yeah. So I'm happy too.
In a different way.
I'm happy you're doing this.
You're angry. It's angry happy. Yeah. Dave's happy to not have to do
I'm
these
happy
videos.
I didn't have to do this. I'm happy you did it. But it's a really, really good series. So you want to learn about insurance, it's free. Go to RamseySolutions.com/confidence. Again, it's a 5-day series of videos by George unpacking different insurance topics. Very quick, very easy to consume.
They're all under 3 minutes.
All under 3 minutes. Okay, so there you go.
That's my attention span. So I figured let's make videos that cater to my attention span.
Oh, so you're the focus group.
Yes.
Okay. I love it. Our new Confidence in Your Coverage, 5 days of free guide to insurance. Check it out. RamseySolutions.com/confidence. Mackenzie's with us. Mackenzie is in Texas. Hi, Mackenzie. How are you?
Good. How are y'all?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So I'm 19 and still in college. My parents are going through FPU, so I've kind of just been doing it with them. I do have an emergency fund, but I just kind of wanted to know from y'all's perspective what the next steps for me should be. I don't have any student loans, and I'm paying for everything pretty much myself that isn't covered by scholarship.
How are you doing that?
Telling me. So it's a lot of it is covered. Like my last semester, I think I paid $30. So it's not like I'm throwing a big chunk of money at it every semester, but I do have scholarships based on my academics, and then my father was in the military, so a lot of it's covered by that.
Oh, very good. Cool. Okay, so you got GI Bill and you got academic scholarships, and you're going to, what's the school you're going to?
Texas State.
Great. And what are you studying?
Marketing.
I love you. You're awesome. You're doing this brilliantly. If we could clone you and make people in America have as much common sense as you do, we'd have a whole lot better place.
Amen.
Way to go.
Well, thank you.
So what I want you to do is I want you to pile up as much cash as you can pile up until you graduate.
Okay.
Big old pile of cash. Because the bigger a pile of cash you have, that's your insurance policy to ensure you complete this degree with no debt.
Yes, sir.
If there's any little hiccup in one of the little scholarships or something, or some kind of little delay, then you don't hiccup into a student loan. You hiccup into that big old emergency fund. And let's just pretend it went crazy. Let's say you had like $50,000 or something when you graduated.
That'd be nice.
That'd be great, and you didn't have to use it, right? And so what would you have? Well, you'd have the ability to move into the new place, new job, get your life started, maybe even a down payment on the first house. You're going to get plenty of use of that money before you're 25. And in the meantime, it's an insurance policy investing in the best investment I know of, and that's an investment called McKinsey.
Okay. So just piling it up.
Are you working right now, Mackenzie, during college?
Yes, sir. I work.
Cool. What do you make and what do you do?
I work for Geek Squad for Best Buy, and I make $16.50 an hour.
It's awesome. And you're doing that, 10, 15, 20 hours a week?
Try to stay at a minimum of 25 hours a week.
Wow. You're impressive. And you're still completing your coursework and getting good grades?
Yes, sir.
Ding, ding, ding. Dave, I thought you got a worse GPA.
You are what's called employable, because you actually you'll come out with a degree with no debt and a work ethic. You're you're a genius. This is amazing. I love your parents.
It's incredible.
Your parents have done a great job. They've got to be so proud of you. That's just cool.
This is inspiring.
They're out there. They're out there, and there's more McKinseys than people know.
That's right.
All we hear about is the deadbeat version of, I want to go $40,000 in debt a year to play beer pong and get a degree in left-handed puppetry and German polka history, and
it's a double major.
And I'll be a 40-year-old barista. Oh my God. Instead we have McKinsey, who's going to take over the freaking world.
She's going to have a marketing job straight out of college with a big pile of money.
With Ramsey Solutions.
Yeah, we'll hire her in a heartbeat.
You definitely. That's one that gets through the interview process right there, because I don't have to teach her how to work.
That's an
amazing idea, Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Scott's with us in Portland, Maine. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good, Dave and George. How are you?
Great, man. How can we help?
No, I want to thank you for taking my call, and you changed my life and my wife's life. Next month we'll be debt-free, paying off about $75,000, and we owe it all to you and your teaching.
Well, we're proud of you, man. We didn't pay it off. You did. Good job.
Thank you. So we're 35 years old, and we actually manage a horse rescue and farm in Maine, and we live on the farm rent-free. We plan on living out our career here, but we want to buy a house or land in, say, 5 years. Retirement and possibly for rental income. And we're just wondering where we should put that money that we set aside year after year.
How much money are we talking?
We're hoping to set aside between $10,000 and $20,000 a year.
Okay, and what's the time horizon here?
We'd love to buy something in say 10 years maximum, and ideally not have much, if any, of a mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to just park it in something like an S&P 500 index fund, and just park it in a simple mutual fund and let it grow, because you need it to grow as fast as the real estate market's growing. And mutual funds will keep up with the market roughly. Sometimes they outperform the market, the real estate market. And then when you actually buy real estate, then of course you're keeping up with the market. And so the way you hedge against inflation, if you heard that phrase, I need a hedge against inflation, all that means is we buy something that gives us as good a rate of return as the inflation rate. And so if the inflation rate is 8%, if you have a hedge that's 2%, it ain't hedging. Okay?
Right.
And if it's 12%, now you got a hedge. And that's what we're talking about. So that's exactly what you need to do, is to measure into something like that.
Yeah.
So.
And you can use a compound interest calculator online and plug in some different numbers to get a ballpark of what this money might grow into over that 10 years and start planning around that.
Yeah, it's going to more than, he's going to do real well on that. He's going to be fine. Yeah, that's a good place to be.
$20K a year for 10 years with some compound growth. I like that. Excellent
job. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. George, a lot of folks are asking a lot of questions about real estate. Rachel and I were talking about it earlier in the week. This is a very unusual real estate market right now, in that I can honestly tell you in the next 6 months that, and I don't think this advice will change during this coming 6 months, real estate is going to go up in value every year for the next 5 years. It's not going to go up as much as it has been. But a lot of people are saying, I'm going to wait on houses to come back down. You can't find a time in history that real estate went down, except one. When you go back in recent 50, 75, 100 years, okay? You got to go back to the Great Depression to find two. The only other time is 2008. It went down.
Which was an anomaly.
And it stayed down because it was a real estate bubble that burst, okay? This is not a bubble. This is real estate prices shot up. We had a supply-demand curve issue, and the prices are not going to go down. They're not going to continue to go up as fast as they have been. That's good news.
That's what we mean by cool off.
The market is cooling down.
Yeah.
But if you're saying I'm out of debt, I've got my emergency fund, I'm ready to buy a house, this is the best time in the next 5 years for you to buy a house because every year you wait, it's going to be more.
You're going to be mad at us in 5 years if you waited.
You're not going to be mad at me because I told you to do it. So now's the best time to do it.
If you're financially ready.
You're mad at yourself. Yeah. Now's the time. Oh, by the way, it happens to be the best time to sell a house, too, right now, because this market's still booming. It's a great time to sell. Very few times in history can you say it's a great time to buy and a great time to sell at the same moment. But it is a unique time right now. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. George Camel Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Rebecca is with us in Lafayette, Indiana, and she says on our screen here that she's debt-free. Congratulations, Rebecca.
Thank you so much, Dave. It's good to talk to you.
You too. So do you guys call it Lafayette or Lafayette?
Lafayette.
Okay. I figured. That's why I said it. All right. Tell me about your debt. How much did you pay off?
Well, when I started doing your plan, I paid off $36,000 in 2 years, but the total was actually $40,000.
Okay. And what do you make? What's been your range of income during that 2 years?
Range of income has been $22,000 starting 2 years ago, and then now I'm making $50,000.
Good for you. Nice job doubling your income. What do you do for a living?
So I started off working at a bank, which is $12 an hour. So that's the $22,000. And now I'm a web developer. So total pivot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Way to go. Way to go. Translation, bankers starve to death. Isn't that weird? I love it.
Curious.
Yeah, well, again, I was giving loans out to people, and now I'm glad that I'm out of that business. So because I don't think I could, in good conscience, give out loans to
I hear you. What kind of debt was your $36,000?
It was $4,000 in credit card loans, and the rest was in student loans.
Okay. So what was your wake-up call? What happened 2 years ago that got you on this boat?
So I had a couple of friends who have been great in accountability and introduced me to you. I thought that your ideas were crazy.
They are.
And I very reluctantly got on the debt-free plan, but I actually didn't have my I've had it moment until last year. And so I started doing the plan, started cutting down my income and putting the rest towards the loans. But then as I was living off of basically $16,000 a year and the rest was going towards my loans, I was watching my family and my parents, who had car loans and 2 timeshares, and they're kind of living and rolling in this debt. And here I was trying to pay off my debt, and they were complaining, saying, "Oh, we don't have money for things, and we're we're having trouble with our finances." And I looked at them and I said, "Well, it's because you have debt." And they thought I was crazy.
You became one of those people, didn't you?
They said that that's a part of your life and that you just need to let it live with you. And I said they were crazy. And so that's when I had my I've had it moment, because I realized I didn't want to be like my parents.
Yeah, all of a sudden these debt-free ideas aren't weird, they're yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So proud of you.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Rebecca, what was the training like to become a developer for you?
A lot of breaking sites. I've learned a lot of code along the way, and so my degree actually was not in web development, and so it's been a long journey with paying for a degree I'm not using, and then now learning coding. And so right now I'm just basically using HTML and CSS, but I'm hoping that in the future I can learn a lot more, because I love the field I'm in. And
That's
so
awesome.
It's been really good.
Good for you.
Good track for you. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Very cool. So now you did it. You got rid of all the debt. How's it feel?
Yes. How's it feel? It feels amazing. I cannot believe the relief that I feel when I wake up in the morning and I realize that I can make plans with my money, and I'm able to look into the future and make goals and priorities. And it's an amazing feeling.
Wow. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Good for you.
That's incredible.
Well done. Very well done. So when people say this now, people like your parents, they go, okay, you pay off $36,000 worth of debt. You started out making $22,000. Now you're making $50,000. How do you do that? What are the keys to getting out of debt? What do you tell them?
I tell them that it's really good to have a good support network. And even though my parents weren't there for me and think I'm crazy, I did have a couple of friends who were with me every step of the way. And so it's good to look for a community of people. And I'd also say that keep getting back on the horse. There were so many times I failed, and so many times I went over my budget with my fun money budget, and I had to cut that down. And it got so discouraging not being able to go out to eat and having to turn down friends and family members because I didn't have enough gas. And I just want to say it's worth it. It's worth it getting back on the horse over and over and over, because now I can stand here and I can live my life being completely free of debt, and it's amazing.
All right. Way to go, kiddo. Proud of you, hero. Well done.
Thank
Touchdown.
you.
Hey, we got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, how ordinary people build extraordinary wealth, how you can too. That's the next chapter in your story for sure. You are on your way. You're going to be making 100 in 2 years because you're going to keep learning this code. And of course, you're going to have no debt. You're on your way to being a millionaire. Way to go. Also got a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away to someone. And that'll help them get on the road, too, because they'll be inspired by your story. And we're going to give you a 1-year subscription to Financial Peace University. I want you to go through the whole class and make sure you learn everything about money, because you're going to be having a whole bunch of it around you, and you need to be handling it well. And we're going to show you how to do every bit of that. So, Rebecca, thank you so much.
Dave.
Well done. All right. Rebecca from Indiana, $36,000 paid off in 2 years, making $22 to $50. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt-free!
Yeah! Way to go, kiddo.
Pretty cool.
Way to go. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a satisfaction guarantee that means even if you mismeasure, you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your blinds for free. Free samples, free shipping, new promos all the time. You save money all the time. Use the promo code Ramsey when you go to Blinds.com.
Today's question comes from Justin in Arizona. My wife and I are in our 50s, and our combined income is $145,000. We own a rental property free and clear that's worth $600,000 and generates $1,900 a month. Our primary residence is worth $1.1 million, and we currently owe $268,000 on it. We have no other debt. We have $45,000 in cash and savings, and I have $60,000 in retirement funds. My father recently passed away, and I will soon be receiving his $1 million life insurance benefit. I was going to immediately pay off our mortgage, but what should I do with the remaining $732,000? Should I invest all of it and draw a decent amount each year without touching the principal? I'm devastated by the loss of my father and don't want to do the wrong thing with this gift. Well, sorry to hear about your father, Justin. That's really tough, but what a legacy he left by taking care of his finances and helping bless you guys to catapult your financial journey.
Yeah.
So $1 million life insurance benefit. They owe $268 on their primary residence. They have a rental property free and clear. This is a good spot to be in. So I absolutely would pay off the mortgage today. And he's asking what to do with the remaining money. And if you guys don't have any other things you need to be doing, upgrading cars or house renovations, I absolutely would invest it.
I also would give a gift to some ministry that in honor of your dad. And so I'd pick some. It doesn't have to be, you decide the amount. It doesn't have to be a huge amount, but giving, enjoying some of the money, and investing the money. You always want to be looking at all three things at all times.
Have some balance.
People who don't do one of those live an incomplete life. You're not generous, or you don't enjoy it, or you never invest it. In any of those cases, you're going to leave something out here in your life.
Get a flat tire.
So yeah, exactly. It's not a well-rounded situation. So yeah, I'm with George. Let's pay off the mortgage and then sit down with a SmartVestor Pro, put some money in mutual funds. I would allocate, I don't know, $20,000-$50,000. Do some kind of wild travel thing you've always wanted to do, or that classic car you always wanted, or something. I'd spend some of it. Doesn't have to be a lot, but a little bit. Enjoy the money, and then I'd take another little chunk of money. I don't know, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, whatever, something like that, and I'd find something to celebrate the life of your dad with a donation to some wonderful ministry that does something that was close to him.
Yeah,
or
I love that idea.
Represented him. So always giving, always enjoying, always investing, and always debt-free. And these are the things we're always going to lead you into that realm. So good stuff, Justin. Again, sorry for the loss of your dad, but as George said, what a wonderful legacy. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Joe is in Salem, Oregon. Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm good. Hold on. Yeah, speaker. I'm 58 years old, and my husband is 68. He's a retired teacher, so we have a PERS retirement that's generous. And so we have that. We got it for my lifetime because I'm younger than him. He also took Social Security at age 65. And we let his life insurance expire. So my concern is that we don't have much in savings. We our only debt is our mortgage, which is about $144,000.
Good Lord.
Yeah, we have an IRA, which is down to, 52-ish thousand right now. And then I started a Roth IRA a couple of years ago, and I'm not sure, I haven't checked it, but maybe 10 to 15,000. And my husband feels like because we have the monthly income, unless PERS falls apart, that we don't need to save anything, and the IRA is for going on vacations, or two of our kids got married last summer. We used it for that too. And so it just keeps going down. And I make frugality an art form, so it stresses me out to not have something. And he keeps asking me, why do we need something? What kind of emergency? And I said, I don't know, but I just feel like if something happened to you and I'd have to sell the house, I don't necessarily want to. So
funerals, illness, transmissions go out on cars. I mean, how many times do we have to name a root canal? What kind of? I mean, I can name you about 73 emergencies in 73 seconds.
Yeah. So
how naive for somebody 68 years old.
Yeah, I've been paying a little extra on the mortgage when I can, but we have never put 15% towards our investments.
Yeah.
And
how old are you? You said you're 50-something.
I'm 58.
Are you working
and
still?
I work part-time, so, I bring in maybe $9,000 a year. I've always worked part-time a little bit just to make things ends meet because we lived off of his salary and raised 4 kids, and we were able to do it. And I always tell people that they can do it. If I can live off a teacher's salary, then, they can do it. But we didn't have a lot of extra.
Okay, so what is your household income today with the pension, the Social Security, and the $9,000 part-time work?
It was $122 last year, but that included that included what we took out of the IRA. So it's probably like $110.
Okay, you guys have to pay off this house, girl.
So is that more urgent than?
No, you need to be saving $15,000 a year. You need to do 2 Roth IRAs, and you need to be paying off the house. That's not frugality. That's wisdom.
So at our age, is it too late to be putting him into IRA? Because he has to start taking.
Let's see. What options do you have? Going back and starting again? Oh, wait a minute. That's not an option.
No,
you're breathing. You need a paid-for house. You're breathing. You need some money in investments.
Right.
Old doesn't mean you don't do it.
So do we put more into the regular IRA or the Roth IRA?
I would do 2 Roth IRAs with you as the beneficiary on both of them. You're almost 10 years younger, and I'd pour everything else onto the house.
Are we able to convert the traditional into
You
a
can,
Roth?
but I wouldn't. I'd just leave it sitting there.
Okay,
and I'd quit taking it out. Quit spending it. You have a $110,000 income. My God, live on that.
I know, but
Are you able to work more?
He wants me to retire so that we can.
I don't know what his plan is. Does he have secret money that we don't know about?
No, he put in his years as a teacher, and he wants to play golf and have fun.
Okay, play golf and have fun within a budget.
Yeah.
Because it ain't fun when he dies and you're broke.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make mortgage payments.
That's why you called.
Yeah.
Because your bells are ringing down inside of your soul saying, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And we are telling you, the bell. You need to listen to the bell. It's right.
Okay, so what percentage do I put towards the Roth? And
I would do 2 Roth IRAs that you fully fund, each of you. And then I would put everything else I can squeeze out of my budget on this house. And don't you dare spend another dime except out of your income beyond those 2 things. So if he wants to travel or he wants to do something, you have to save up and do it out of a $110,000 income.
Okay, I'm not sure how I'm going to tell him that.
Tell him you're 57 and he's 66 and he's going to die and you don't want to be left with nothing.
I know. That's how I feel.
That's exactly right. This is an act of love on his part to now start being a grown-up. A little late, but it's time.
I know. I've told him this before, and he doesn't see it.
Well, I can't make your husband grow a brain, honey. I'm just telling you what you need to do. Okay? So that'll be your job.
He's got to put his big boy pants on.
Yeah. I mean,
show him that he loves you.
At some point, this guy needs to actually quit being so dadgum selfish and immature. And, love your wife well, sir. It's that comes first, man. I mean, it's just then you can play golf and then you can do the other stuff. But you've done a horrible job at saving money. You're 66 years old. You still have a mortgage. And so, you've not earned the right to be a playboy and fly around the world. You don't have any money.
They got a mini retirement, which means mini golf. Sorry, we're going to be on a different kind of budget.
Putt-putt is all
that's
that's
what he's
legal
going to be playing. Goodness gracious. Oh, boy.
George.
Sorry, I had to do it.
It was the underhand pitch. All right, Alex. It's a short putt. Hey, Alex, what's up?
Hey, Dave, how are you?
Good, man. How can we help?
Good. I'm considering going back to college and pursuing an associate's degree.
In what?
I'm about business.
Why?
I was looking to be a sports agent, so I wanted to get some business knowledge before pursuing a finance degree.
You think you have to have a finance degree to be a sports agent?
No. I just wanted to pursue that. I have about $22,000 in debt, and I wasn't sure, should I just pay off my debt?
Yes.
Or should I go ahead and attack that first?
Yes, you knock that debt out. What are you making now?
I'm making about $3,300 a month net.
What do you do?
I'm a vendor, so I deliver food, snacks, and drinks right now.
Okay. And you're single?
Yes.
How old are you?
22.
Okay. And so where's the sports agent thing come from? What made you want to do that?
I realized that I have a love for negotiating, and I also love sports, so I figured I'd put the two together. And
okay. Do you know any sports agents?
Not personally, no.
Okay. I would make it a point to meet one or two immediately and see if you can't follow one of them around, or maybe you could be their assistant, or maybe you could be whatever, not to steal their customers, but to go in and learn how the business works, and you probably could make as much as you're making now and start being mentored in the business.
Right. That's a great idea.
Yeah. And, you can pick up a finance class or two, an accounting class or two, and just audit them here or there as you move along this process and prepare yourself to handle the numbers side of the negotiations. And that way you can keep one of your athletes from getting paid in Bitcoin or something stupid butt like that.
Right.
Boy, that's some funny stories out there on that. But end up working for nothing this year? Yeah, did you? Okay. Oh, and went to the Super Bowl. Who knew? Yeah, but oh my God. All right. So that's. I love your plan. Let's just come up with a way to execute it. So I don't think it has to be. I think you can be working while you're getting out of debt, and you can start moving towards and being around people in the business. Ken Coleman calls it the proximity principle. Be in proximity of the people that are doing the thing you want to do, and so you kind of get to get it on you. You kind of get to see it, feel it. Even if you're the janitor in a sports agency organization, at least you're in the building,
Right, exactly.
And that's what Ken talks about. So I'm going to send you a copy of his book, Proximity Principle, and I would start moving towards this career without necessarily moving through a bunch of classes right now. And let's get these debts knocked out while you're doing that. So, George, good show.
Good stuff.
Good stuff today. Good hour. That puts this particular hour in the books. Our thanks to Austin, Ben, Zach, Andrew, and James in the booth, and Kelly. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host, and we'll be back. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We're here to help people build wealth, do work that they really love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones on any of those subjects. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. George Camel, Ramsey personality and host of The Fine Print, a podcast on the Ramsey Networks, is my co-host today. Again, open phones here, 888-825-5225. Jacob starts us off this hour in Atlanta. Hi, Jacob. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, so I just graduated college. I'm originally from a small town in Georgia. I'm moving to Atlanta. Got my first job as a financial analyst, making around $65,000 a year. I plan on staying in Atlanta for around 5 to 10 years. And I know that renting would be easier. I'm trying to decide if I want to rent or to buy a condo. I understand that obviously renting gives you the flexibility, but buying the condo, at least you retain some of that equity. So I guess I would love some advice.
Cool. Well, congratulations on graduating with a fantastic job. That's awesome. You got any debt?
No debt. I did Army ROTC in college, so I just commissioned as a officer in the reserve. So huge blessing.
Great. How much money do you have?
So I have around $100,000 in total assets. I have about $20,000 in the bank, and then the rest, the other $80,000, is in index funds.
Wow.
Good for you. Well done.
Where'd you learn all this stuff?
So I heard about you a long time ago. You actually influenced my brother a lot, and then he got me caught onto that when I was a freshman in high school. So yeah, just saving every penny and investing it essentially.
You've done really well, man. So that's
so
20,000.
You're what? 22?
I am actually 21, about to turn 22. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Good for you.
Sharp young man.
Yeah. I would rent for a year, and let's just get settled into the new gig and settled into this post-college phase of your life, and that will probably inform where you want to live before you buy. You learn the traffic patterns in Atlanta, which would be information that you want.
You don't want a 2-hour commute to work.
Right. And so, and you're going to kind of figure out the area of town you're going to run in, where you're going to hang, where your buddies are going to be, where you're going to go to church, whatever it is you're going to do, and what your social network looks like. And that's going to, kind of settling into the city a little bit for a year is going to help you pick a better condo 1 year from today. And during that time, you can pile up a bunch of cash. You're almost going to pay cash for this thing.
Right. No, absolutely. That was my plan, was to try to put as much cash,
Yeah.
Try to get close to 40-50% for a down payment.
Yeah, I'm thinking, you got 80 now, you got your emergency fund, and, all you got's rent, and you're making good money. You're used to living like a college student, so you're not going to spend out your ears, I hope. And you ought to be able to pile onto that 80 pretty healthy in a year. What do you think you could add to it?
I'm trying. That was another kind of question I had. Like, I was thinking about, does the 25? I know you're 25% after tax rule. Does that still apply to buying as well?
Yes.
Because I'm hoping. Gotcha. Because I'm hoping to add, I don't know, probably at least 15 to 20 more thousand is the goal.
Yeah, and then it'll probably grow another 15. Give or take. So during this year. So, yeah, I'm thinking next spring you start looking around, and I just think you'll know your way around Atlanta and the world a lot more than you do today 1 year out of college, right?
Right. No, absolutely, 100%.
And then the other thing I'll warn you of is if you were to meet your future wife and start dating and get married, you will discover that you have bought the wrong condo at that point.
You will be notified.
And so you'll sell it, and you'll make some good money, and you'll buy where you should have bought that you didn't know.
The cabinets will be the wrong color.
That's exactly.
Somehow.
No, it's a joke, but it's also just a lot of truth. So
good wisdom.
Yeah. Jacob is with us. No, that was Jacob that we were talking to.
We got him.
Open phones here at 888-825-5225. The housing market, we were just talking about it, over the last couple of years has been unique. The Federal Reserve has upped the ante, raised the federal funds rate again. It's got a lot of people worried. If you want to learn about all of this stuff, go to RamseySolutions.com/rates. And if you're ready to buy or ready to sell, we were talking about it in another hour, George. This is a unique time in real estate, the real estate rhythms, the rhythms of the real estate market. Usually if it's a good time to buy, it's a bad time to sell. If it's a good time to sell, it's a bad time to buy.
You've heard
Usually
buyer's
you've got
market,
a buyer's
seller's market.
Exactly. Usually got one or the other. And we're kind of like coming up over the rise on an apex. We're kind of at the balancing point right now. It's been a seller's market for a while, a shortage of housing, and there still is a shortage of housing. There's still more demand than there is supply, but demand has cooled off in the last 60 days dramatically compared to, say, this time last year. And
is that in major part due to the interest rates going up?
It's just the economy has cooled in general. Yeah, interest rates are up, inflation, people are sitting on the sidelines, and so there's still more buyers than there is sellers. But it's nowhere near like it was. So what that is going to give us is it's going to slow down the price jumps. These insane increases in price
and the competition
are going to slow down.
150 over asking and crazy offers.
It's going to slow down. You're going to see more normal price increases now. So but it's still a really good time to sell because the market is still hopping. Okay, it's also uniquely a good time to buy because some buyers are saying we're going to wait on prices to come down. Prices are not coming down on houses. If you go, you can't find times in history that a recession or high interest rates have caused house prices to go down. Let me give you an example. In 1982, interest rates on houses under Jimmy Carter had gone to 18%, 17.5% fixed rate.
Whoa.
House prices didn't go down.
They stayed.
Isn't that weird? So interest rates going up will not necessarily cause house prices to go down. And that's an extreme. I mean, we're right now at 5.5, 6, not at 18.
Which feels crazy because they've been so low the past few years.
Yeah, it feels like, woo, because they've been at 3, But interest rates are going to cause this housing bubble to burst, and I'm going to wait on prices to go down. You're dealing with a false hypothesis that's not going to occur, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so 5 years from today, every year from now for the next 5 years, the price of a house is going to go up. So this is as good a time as there ever was. If you're in a position, if you're out of debt, you have your emergency fund, you have your down payment, go to RamseySolutions.com, click on ELP, and get you an agent and go buy a house. Right now. It's a good time to buy a house. Well, interest rates might go down. Well, if they go down, refinance and get rid of that mortgage. Okay? This is as good a time as ever to sell because the market's still hopping. Go to RamseySolutions.com, get you an ELP, an endorsed local provider, get that house on the market. This is as good a time as you're going to see in the next 5 years to sell a house. Right now. This is The Ramsey Show. Thanks for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. So, George, not only has Bitcoin dropped, 60-something% now since September.
Big crash.
That's not 6. That's 60%.
Ouch.
That means you turned 100,000 into 40. But now we're seeing that $1 billion has been lost in crypto scams, according to the Federal Trade Commission.
This is wild. Cryptocurrency scammers have stolen over $1 billion from 46,000 people since the start of 2021, a new Federal Trade Commission report says. FTC rang the alarm bells on Friday, saying crypto-related crimes amount to about 1 out of every $4 reported lost to fraud, more than any other payment method. The median individual reported loss was $2,600. This is wild.
Crypto scams are becoming increasingly popular, shooting up 60 times higher than in 2028. Nearly half of those who reported losing money to a crypto scam in 2021 says they were lured in through an online post or a social media message. So how are they getting scammed? Do you know?
Well, on Facebook and Instagram, they lure you in with, they get you to click the link, go to a website, and there's been a lot of actual scam accounts impersonating me, trying to message people about crypto. And the people know it's spam and scams once they go, George is telling me to invest in crypto. I know this is a scam. And so they report it and they let me know.
It's like Dave Ramsey telling you to get a credit card.
Exactly. Not a great move to the scammers out there. And so that's what's happening. And so people get lured in and they go, well, this seems like a good deal. This seems like I'm going to win big on this thing. And so they click it and they give them access to their crypto wallets and all kinds of things. And all of a sudden,
what are they buying? I mean, what's the scam? What's the pitch?
I have no idea there's all kinds of different ones out there across the board. I don't know that they have any details. Here, in both cases, scammers promised substantial returns to their investors, but instead pocketed the money into their own crypto wallets. So they're promising you, hey, give us the money. We're going to give you an amazing return on your money into this new crypto coin. And all of a sudden, those returns disappear, and they pocket the money instead. And this is happening all over.
In February, a federal grand jury in San Diego indicted the founder of BitConnect for allegedly orchestrating a $2.4 billion global Ponzi scheme. Founders accused of misleading investors about the cryptocurrency's lending program, claiming the company's proprietary technology would bring substantive returns to investors by tracking cryptocurrency exchange markets.
So they all come down to this: false promises of easy money paired with people's limited crypto understanding and experience. So no one truly understands it, and they go, well,
wait. You're saying someone who bought crypto would fall for false promises of easy money?
I just read the article.
I can't believe that
Don't come at me in the comment section. But that's the truth. It's so new. It's so volatile. The technology is there, and so people are going, well, this is my chance.
What kind of my point is the very person who buys crypto to start with is looking for a cutting-edge, easy, sophisticated, technologically easy money. And so when someone presents them with another cutting-edge, sophisticated thing, then they're more likely to fall for that than the average Joe, because they already are biting it. They're already chewing on that hook.
They're trying to get in on the ground floor of the next thing. They're trying to choose the winning coins.
Yeah. In other words, the scammers are taking them through the same psychological door that they went through to buy Bitcoin in the first place, and then they get scammed. Exactly. So they're more susceptible to scams.
And it's all unregulated. So you're not protected. There's no FDIC here going, hey, we'll cover your money. And so you just lose this money. That's it. It's not hard to steal people's crypto.
Man, we've come a long way since the Nigerian prince.
This is the modern day version. At least I got a nicely worded email from the Nigerian prince.
I remember getting copies on a bad copy machine by snail mail from the Nigerian prince.
Wow, that took effort.
Yeah, it had my name personalized across the top of this copy that had been made like 8,000 times, so it had the little lines and stuff on it because you could tell it was like a mimeograph machine or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm old enough. I used to get those from the Nigerian prince.
I kind of miss those days. Simpler times in the scamming world.
Simpler times.
Man.
What was the one? It wasn't the Spanish flu. It was the Spanish lottery or something that ran through Canada.
Really?
That was another one. Yeah, that was
in 30 years of doing this, you've seen lots of scams.
Yeah. So Glenn Frashe, who wrote the book Con Man or Saint, we talk about this in the Building Wealth Live event. He was claiming he might be a saint, but he wrote the book from prison, so I'm suspecting he was wrong. That he was probably a con man. He ran a Ponzi scheme, a true pyramid scheme, and got put in jail for it in the 70s. And but he was a world-class con man. And he said, one of the quotes, I read that book, when I was a teenager. I don't know how I ended up with it, but the quote I remember from the book more than anything else, I went and pulled it out for this event that we're doing, that he said, you can con someone of any intellect, any level of education, if you can activate greed or fear. And they also, and really in a sense, the part of the greed one is pride. Like you're in on something, the cool kids are in on it, nobody except the cool kids are in on it, and you're one of the cool kids. You're not, people who aren't sophisticated don't understand Bitcoin. And you're obviously sophisticated because you understand Bitcoin, and so you're in Bitcoin, and since you're in Bitcoin, we're going to give you this other opportunity here.
Since you're so smart.
And $1 billion in scam. Oh, not to mention, how many billions is it? Is it over $1 trillion now in lost value that it went down 60%?
Yeah.
So the total market value loss of Bitcoin, I read it, it was an astronomical number. It's like $1 trillion or something when it went from, when it's gone down 60%. That means people had value at some point that hypothetically they could have cashed in somewhere and didn't. And so they have now ridden this thing to the bottom.
Yeah, we're seeing some really sad stories of how much people are losing in this who they had $1 million in it and now they have nothing. I was just reading a heartbreaking story about one guy who's honest enough to share his losses, which is pretty rare. Most of them only brag about the wins.
Well, it's like a bad golf game or a fisherman.
That's right, which you never had a bad golf game, so you don't have to worry about that,
I've never
Dave.
caught a fish either.
Never. But it's pretty wild stuff. So, I mean, we talk about buyer beware, but with crypto, it's a whole other animal because there's a whole technological piece that most people don't understand. And I think I'm a pretty smart guy. And the more I look into crypto, the more confusing it gets. And I think they did that on purpose.
No.
That's like whole life. It's really complicated on purpose. Because they go, well, you don't have to worry about it. It gets complicated. Just trust me. Give me the premiums. I'll give you the returns.
Trust me.
Trust me.
Trust me.
Yikes.
Oh, man.
This
I'm
is
trying to
bad.
find out what this thing has done. Let's see here. In 1 year.
The losses?
Yeah. It's astronomical. This is wrong. Okay. I was trying to pull it up on a website while I'm on the air. That's a dumb thing to do.
I'll tell you that this guy, he reportedly, he has a whole thread on Twitter, how I went from a crypto millionaire to broke in 6 months due to leverage, a gambling addiction, and an accelerating negative spiral. And he goes through in the thread about every single piece of the puzzle that caused him to lose this $1 million, and now he's got nothing. And he's sad. He could have retired. He could have done a lot of things with that money, and now there's a lot of regret.
Yeah.
It's sad. We like to make fun of crypto, but I don't like anyone losing a lot of money. That breaks my heart.
I don't want anybody hurt.
Yeah.
But I am more than a little bit. As much criticism as we took from the crypto.
That's true.
From the crypto kids.
A little vindication.
Yeah. It's like I kind of want to go, nah, 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 nah. This is the Ramsey Show. Josiah and Anna are with us in Wichita, Kansas. Says on my screen, you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, we are.
How much you paid off?
We paid off $88,568.
Good for you. And how long did that take?
About 34 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that 3 years?
Our first year married, we started at $80,000, and then last year we were at $96,000.
Good. What do you do for a living?
I'm a veterinary technician. I manage a veterinary hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I work at UPS.
Very good. What kind of debt was the $89,000?
Well, we started with $85,000 was our mortgage, and then added some medical debt for our first child.
Okay, so that you paid off your house.
Yep. Yes, we did.
Wow! Look at you, weirdo. Oh, man. Very good.
What's the house worth?
Last appraised, it was now worth about $160 with the land.
Wow, good for you guys. And you're 30. You're how old now?
I am 27.
And 33.
And you have a paid-for house.
Yes.
Yep.
You're so weird. I mean, none of your friends have paid-for houses.
Yeah, it's pretty rare for our age.
Yeah, no question. Well done, you two. Very well done. Okay, so what starts this journey at this young age for you guys?
We got married.
Yeah, but I mean, what made you decide you're getting out of debt? A lot of people get married and they go in debt for 30 years.
The major start was growing up. Both of our sets of parents forced us to go through financial peace.
Oh, you're financial peace babies.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. My mom made us go through it 2 times.
Wow. And so when you started dating, how long before you compared notes and figured out that both your parents were weird?
Well, we actually grew up in the same church, so
you already knew.
Our parents were weird from the beginning.
You already knew. It's like a whole group of weird. I love it.
Whole group of weirdos.
Very cool. I love you guys. That's awesomeness.
So, yeah, because of our parents, we were very blessed, and we got married already debt-free just with the house mortgage. So,
man.
And that set you guys up to where you have paid for houses in your late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
That's a changed family tree back to their mom and dad.
Yeah.
I mean, their mom and dad. This is an extension of the family tree that was changed with mom and dad.
It's the truth. And actually, it started with my grandparents. My grandpa was the first one to bring financial peace to our church. And
Whoa.
Made my
Dave, are you that old?
Go through it and...
You're financial peace grandbabies. Oh, my gosh.
Yes, we are.
Yes, I'm that old.
You know what?
George.
We hope
I'm
our
impressed.
kids one day will continue the trend.
Man, that's amazing.
My great-great-grandpappy went through FPU. That's
I
good.
like
One day.
it.
That's fantastic.
I like it. You guys, this is so cool. Very
awesome.
neat. Very neat. Okay, so I don't know. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? Have great, smart grandparents. I don't know. What do you guys think the key to getting out of debt is? You did it. You mean 34 months, you knock out $89,000.
Well, we said that you've just got to stay focused on it because actually on paper, when we were budgeting, when we were engaged, we were set to do it in less than 2 years. But then after we got married, it was just kind of this will only add 1 more month, so we'll do this. And then at the end of that first year, we realized we had not made the progress we should have, and so we just kind of buckled down and got it done after that.
Well, and you go ahead and have some babies while you're at it, right?
Well, yeah, that too.
Two babies later, that didn't help.
That might slow it down a little. And the first one had a few medical bills, huh?
Yeah, just the regular. He was fine, just regular the hospital bill, and then we had enough saved up to cash flow number 2 here 10 weeks ago.
All right, so yeah, that way the second one's not in danger of repo.
No.
Okay.
You say a few weeks ago?
Yep, 10 weeks ago our daughter was born.
Oh,
man.
Congratulations.
Oh, she's precious. We just see her on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's
we were
cool.
actually. I made him promise when we got married that when we were debt free, we were going to come visit you there in Tennessee, and he forgot that he'd promised. But the timing didn't work out for us to be there live, but we were actually there last Wednesday, met you and got a book signed.
Oh, my goodness. That's awesome.
Oh, my gosh. We should have worked that out. Oh, my goodness.
Now, it worked out. He kept his promise, and we get to do this with you. So.
Yeah, wow. You guys are amazing. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. We've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's the next chapter in your story. We're going to give you a 1-year subscription to Financial Peace University, which you need to give away because your whole family has been doing this for generations. And so you can get somebody else on this train, man. That's so cool. And same with the Total Money Makeover book. We'll send that to you as well. Give you some things you can pay it forward with. I'm so proud of you guys. What a great story. Grandpa brings financial peace to the thing. They meet it to the church. They meet at the church after their parents have gone through it. Then they both are required to go through it as teenagers, and now they're 27 years old with a paid-for house.
We're going to see more financial peace grandbabies here soon.
I'm just telling you, man.
They're
I'm
out
liking
there.
it. Yeah, I'm liking it.
Way to go, guys.
Good stuff.
Inspirational.
Good stuff. All right, Josiah and Anna, Wichita, Kansas, $89,000 paid off in 34 months. House and everything. Weirdos. They're making 80 to 96. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt free!
Man, oh man, oh man. Wow. You know, when I was first doing this stuff myself, we had gone broke, we'd lost everything, starting to build a little bit of wealth back up, and, clearing off the IRS and some other debt that survived the bankruptcy. And so that we're debt free and we're starting to go. And I'm just like, okay, we're going to handle money God's and Grandma's ways with common sense. The culture thing is going to think I'm crazy, but once you've been broke, you don't care what other people think. But one of the things, George, that went through my head was, I am going to change my family tree. This is the last Ramsey in this branch that's going to have debt, because I'm going to have so much wealth built up, and I'm going to teach them generationally and make it a thing, a Ramsey family thing, that we handle money with integrity and with maturity and with wisdom, without debt. And someday, I'll see my grandkids, and at that point, Rachel was a baby. But someday I'll see my grandkids as adults, and they will never see a mortgage. They will never see debt. They will never see it. We're breaking this down. And little did I know that I'm going to get to meet people like Josiah and Anna that are third generation going through Financial Peace University. And so now that's happening for their family and millions of other families like theirs all over America. So it wasn't just my little dream of me, no one in my lineage ever having debt again. Now that's broken. Those kids right there, man, that's very cool.
The ripple effect of that decision you made many, many years ago to go never again, how that's affected so many millions of people. And you raised some great kids on top of that.
But the point is that everybody listening can just decide that same thing today. As for me and my house, no more. I'm done. No more. I'm not going to do what this crazy but lost its mind culture. Have y'all noticed that people in America have lost their minds? I mean, they're crazy. There's just some weird, wacky stuff going out there that people are acting like everybody should go along with. I mean, it's just nutty out there. And so, those of us, the children of common sense, have to stand up,
Well, people call us crazy, and at this point, I'm just going to choose my crazy, and I'm going to choose the one that's filled with peace, no anxiety, wealth, legacy. I'll choose that crazy every day over what's going on in the culture.
Agreed. Wow. And, I do not need to keep up with the toxic culture. The toxic culture has lost its mind in virtually every category. Every department is cray-cray. And so it's just, we were not that far lost, all of us 20 years ago, that all you people that have come along in the last 20 years and decided you're going to straighten all of us out. No, you're the crazy ones. And we are calling you out now. We're saying, you're nuts. And we don't want to be like you. You're crazy. I don't want to be like you. It's nutty out there. And I don't need to be like you. And if you don't like it, I'm fine with that. Because I don't just be mad. That's perfectly good with me. We'll choose our crazy, like George said.
I'll choose the good kind.
Yeah, I'm going to choose the common sense kind of crazy. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 11:14, where there is no guidance, a nation falls, but in an abundance of counselors, there's safety. Admiral Nimitz said, leadership consists of picking good men and helping them do their best. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Zach's in Kansas City. Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, so about a year ago, I had to step away from school after falling on hard times, and I recently found out that my outstanding balance with the school was about to be collected on, and now I'm in a bit of a better position to pay a lot of that off. I was wondering if I should let it be collected and maybe negotiate and kind of get a deal from the collectors rather than just try and pay it all with the school.
Well, I'd call the school and offer them a deal. Just
Gotcha.
tell.
Okay.
It sounds like your real story, like the truth, would be a good story.
Okay.
You know, I fell on hard times. I had to abandon, my pursuit of the degree. And so, so for the money I've spent there, I'm getting nothing. And I've saved up a little. I don't have it all. But if you guys would like to do a settlement, I can write you a check today and make this call it a day. And I'm asking for some mercy.
Yeah.
How much do you owe?
That right now it's $6,000.
Okay. How much money do you have?
Right now I have $6,000.
Yeah, call them and settle it. Deal with it now. Be done with it. Don't screw some collector.
Awesome.
Get a hold of somebody. Get a hold of somebody in leadership and administration at the school. How big a school?
It's a pretty big school. I don't know the population, but it's a pretty big school. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So like Kansas or Kansas State or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just call them. Just talk to the admissions office and say, who do I talk to about clearing this debt, settling this debt, and then just talk to them and go, hey, listen, do I need to talk with like your boss or something? Because I don't know how this works. I don't want to insult you or something, but who have I got to talk to that's got the power to do this? Because here's the situation. I went through this, and this, and I had to leave school because of that. And tell them the whole story. Not a 30-minute version, but a 4-minute version. And go, and I'm honestly, I've got a little bit of money. I'm still basically broke, but I want to settle this and do what's right and try to clear the debt. Can you guys help me with some mercy?
Gotcha.
And
I think I'm going to do just that.
Do what?
I'm going to do just that, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll work. It might not. You might just have to write a $6,000 check, but either way, you're done, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out of Dodge and put this in your rearview mirror and move on with your life. I think your life will be better not having this hanging over your head and having to screw with somebody for the next 6 or 8 months waiting to hand it to collections to maybe get $2,000 saved or something. Move on with your life. There's a financial benefit to cleanliness in your life. Not having your head cluttered and things chasing you from the rear view. There's no ghosts in the closet, no monsters in the closet,
It's not worth the brain space, the emotional energy, or time it takes to even fight all this. You got the money.
You can concentrate on the future and winning instead of concentrating on using your bandwidth on the monsters. Gerald is with us in New York City. Hi, Gerald. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
So I'm getting married in August. Fiance and I are both debt-free. Paid off a little bit over $100,000 in debt, which is awesome.
Way to go.
On the wedding, of course.
Way to go.
Thank you. So my question for you, just kind of thinking ahead, eventually we're going to settle down and we're going to look to get a house. I know you recommend putting down 20%, but I was thinking, me being the saver, if we can save more than 20%, is it beneficial to put that down, or should we take that extra that we saved and just add it to our fully funded emergency fund or even invest it?
I would absolutely put it towards the house. We did something very similar. We put down 45% on our house, and it allowed us to pay it off a whole lot faster, and that's the goal.
You paid it off in what, 2-3 years?
26 months.
26 months.
And part of that was because we worked on the front end like you did. We're so diligent to save up and put a giant number down. And so that's only going to help you because, number one, it's going to be a smaller mortgage payment every single month, which allows you to have more margin to put on top of that. So I love this plan. You guys are crushing it.
Yeah, that's very, very wise. That's very smart. Yeah, do the George plan. All right, Bill is with us. Bill's in Midland, Michigan. Hey, Bill, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? I've got a quick question for you. My wife and I are both self-employed, and we set up Roth IRAs last year. And just wondering if, other than that, because there's obviously only a limit of what you can invest into that per year, what our other best investment options are for being self-employed people.
You have employees?
I do not. I'm a self-employed massage therapist, and she has 2 employees. She owns a CrossFit gym.
Okay. All right. For you, it's a no-brainer. I would do a Roth SEP, a Simplified Employee Pension Plan, an SEPP.
Okay.
Okay, and you can put up to 13.6% of your net profits in addition to your Roth IRA into that, and you can do it as a Roth, and you can do it in mutual funds. Sit down with your SmartVestor Pro, click SmartVestor at RamseySolutions.com, and sit down with one of those guys or gals, and they can lead you right through that process. Now, the SEP has a requirement that whatever percentage you put in, you have to put in the same percentage of the employee's income that have been with you more than 3 of the last 5 years.
Okay.
So if your wife has employees that have been with her more than 3 years, and she puts in 10% into a SEP, she's got to put 10% of their income into their SEP, so it doesn't work real good then.
Sure.
Okay. She would be better off to do what's called a simple IRA. And a simple IRA is a 401k for very, very small businesses. It doesn't cost much to set up, and you can fund it up to 401k numbers, but you're required to match up to 3% of the employees the money that they put in.
Okay.
If they put nothing in, you got nothing in it, and you've just got a good plan.
Sure.
But that 3% match is nowhere near as much as you'd have to put in with a SEP if you've got employees that have been with you a long time, and you can set that up as a Roth as well. So probably a SEP for you, probably a simple IRA, which is a 401k for small businesses, for her. And she's going to have that mandatory match. But either way, you can get a lot more money in between those two things. You know what, $20,000, what's the max?
$20,500 on a
for her,
401k.
For her, that'll be the max on hers. And yours will max out at like almost $30,000, but it's a percentage of your profits is the max up until you get to that limit. And so you can push all that through. SmartVestor Pro can teach you every bit of that. They can lay it all out for you. You can pick the same mutual funds you put in your Roth or different ones if you want, and try to do them all as Roths as well. But you can get a lot more money into this stuff. Now, reminder, Bill, if you're at baby step 4, you still got a house mortgage, you don't put more than 15% of your household income into all of these retirements combined. So that's your max, because we want to put everything past that into paying off the mortgage as fast as possible.
Yeah, and a good reminder for those that are self-employed that you do have options. I've got some messages this week, and people are going, I'm self-employed, so I guess I can't retire, and I can't save for retirement. And so
what?
They don't know that these options even exist.
Those are great. That little simple IRA, that little 401k plan for small business is an incredible product. We used that here for a long time, and we hit the maxes on the size of the plan that required us to go into a more traditional 401k, which is fairly expensive to operate for the company. But that little simple 401k is great product. And again, get with SmartVestor Pro. They can help you do every bit of that. George, good show.
Awesome times. Thank you, Dave.
Good job to Austin, Ben, Zach, Andrew, James, and Kelly. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.